It's a requirement to.
I'll figure it out.
Okay. It's fine.
Yes. So welcome to our live stream.
Welcome.
Hello.
Yes. It's really cold in here.
The few of you that are here, because apparently people don't want to listen to us answer questions.
We have like a shit ton of questions today.
You hurt Nathan's feelings, I can tell.
Yeah.
He gets emo.
Here's like 6 pages of questions from the...
He hasn't got his emo hair, though.
No. 6 pages of questions from the forums, and we're also going to be quite active taking questions from the chat and give a shitload of stuff away.
So I was telling Katie earlier that if she's cold in here, she should just play on that very powerful computer.
Forgot my mermaid tail at my desk.
Yeah.
If somebody could bring it to me, that would be amazing. If anybody's watching.
She actually has a mermaid tail. I can confirm that.
I'm surprised Nathan doesn't have mermaid tail.
I was gonna bring my socks. Like,
you're not wearing socks?
I am wearing socks, but not the socks that I was given, which
the Colonel Sanders ones.
Yeah, fat bastard. Fat. You know, I've fallen from people making cartoons that are put on T-shirts for people to getting socks that says Nathan fat bastard. It's not quite the same.
No.
They're pretty amazing.
Yeah, they're like custom.
No, I love the socks.
They're cool.
Totally. So
I guess we don't really need to show the schedule because we already just told it. No, but we should, just because.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. Do we introduce ourselves?
Amazing.
Perfect.
That's it. Yep.
No, it's good. No. We're all good.
Yeah.
It's Friday. We've done a lot this week. The campaigns have been great. Actually, overwhelmingly great. We didn't expect this amount of activity, to the point of actually breaking our matchmaking / campaign system. Well, not breaking. It's just it's working as intended.
Breaking in the same sense that Kim Kardashian can break the internet. So like not breaking it at all, really.
Yeah. No. Yes. That's a good description for it. And we are actually starting on our new set of features that are upcoming, which we will tell you about later. Which is why we're not showing you anything today, because what has been done and is coming in the next patch is already on UAT, and we would like you to be there and check that out. You can even play the Possessed Marine.
Yes.
And I guess...
so next week's will be all about the Space Marine campaign.
Yes, and you will, of course, see the my favorite, actually, the flaming guy.
Damned Legionnaire. Yes.
So, before we take actually questions from the chat, we're going to do a couple of pages of the forums, and Katie will grab some and write down maybe and store in a text file. If it's good questions.
Smoke signals.
So we're just going to dive in because we have some great juicy questions.
It's good. I'm gonna talk a lot.
And some of you won't even believe that we're answering this stuff, but hey, that's who we are.
I'm stealing the first one.
Okay.
From Gmo.
Okay.
The founders received their founders banners. What is the status on the founders emblems that also came with the founder packs?
Oh, the emblems. Well, it's I don't want to get technical, but it's an and/or, and the reason for that is that it was either going to be back then when it was decided, it was going to be either of those.
What, either emblems or banners?
And banners were in, and emblems actually aren't a thing.
So that was like years ago. How come we didn't just say that every time everyone's asked?
Well, I mean, we intend to do it.
Okay.
Right? But, you know, when it was sold many years ago, of course, people expected both. And sure, I mean, emblems are certainly something that we can do. But
and what are they?
That's the thing. You know, we can throw something into the game That's like call emblems. And
I wasn't here when they were
I had
no idea what they are. But
say.
People keep asking about them, so they're important to people. So we should do it.
We have like 5 different versions of what an emblem is. So while we don't have them planned, we'll do them one day when we actually say like, hey, we should have this kind of fun experience. Oh yeah, we can call them emblem, and they can do like this and this and this. And it's like, yeah, it's sure cool. That's how games are made.
So that's the status of that.
Bars. But the banners are out there. Well, yeah, and of course everybody is saying like what like the emblem is this, emblem is that. It's not straightforward what an emblem is because it's different in a lot of people's minds. For example, is it rank insignia?
Actually, C-Train is saying Sergeant packs included emblems and Captain packs included emblems and banners.
This is entirely correct. So, main fold. How long before we can expect sorcerers and warlords to get some psyker love? I would like some psyker love.
Yeah, so they might even have psyker love on UAT. Chan checked in a bunch of
yes, he did.
Psyker Love stuff.
Yes.
Before he went on his epic journey to the Orient.
Yes.
And so you can.
We hope he doesn't get kidnapped. So we've got some.
Yeah, I'm hoping he gets some sort of food poisoning right when he gets there.
Oh
and then
that's kind of like.
I'm not jealous that he's on him.
No.
Well, I mean that's what happened to you. You were almost dying there for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was when I got back though, which. At least I got to.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, yeah, of course you want to get it when you're coming back. No, you don't want to get. Anyhow, so yes, there should be psyker love.
The answer is yes to that one. Yes.
Is it everything that you wish for? No.
Yes, it is. Of course, it is.
Okay. Yeah, of course it is.
Be more positive, like.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure everybody will come with their personal version of this isn't good enough yet. But
they'll just be wrong.
Yes.
So it's easy.
Okay. But yes, there is psyker love. I'm totally going to think about that entire weekend. Like, psyker love. Next, God Emperor Hogan. Will you consider giving LSM ground assault access to either grenade bundles or melta bombs? Currently, the trader assault is capable of taking both.
All I heard was grenade.
No, not right now. So, like especially not melta bombs. Because that's not what the ground assault is. He's not anti-vehicle, so why would we give him anti-vehicle weapons? So it's really like the loyalists and the traders are supposed to be different on the battlefield, and the trader assault he's meant to be like more like kind of upfront and around the capture points, capping, whereas the ground assaults are meant to sort of defend, and not with throwing grenades. So,
I mean, the way forward is actually that we work more on differentiating all the classes into their respective roles, because after all, we are faction and class based. And who knows, we might even actually become more tactical when we work on the squads.
Yes.
Which we want to do.
Who knows?
So it actually becomes something masterful.
So, question from the chat.
He was enjoying looking at himself in the...
Yeah, of course.
From somebody's name I can never say.
Tartar's Hellstorm.
What? No, not yet.
Oh, sorry.
Tozazu.
Oh.
Sound right? Any thoughts on letting us take additional loadouts into a match? Especially with Eldar, and in some ways, Chaos, I feel like I need more options.
We did increase it. I don't have an opinion on it. It's more to you.
I don't have an opinion on it either. I don't think
we're not going to break the game by it. That's I mean, it's supposed to be a limitation on like what kind of direction I want to go, but then again, is that really what we want? I'm not so sure anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to, so you can save like a buttload of loadouts.
Oh yeah, sure.
but should you be able to save a loadout for every single circumstance, and then everybody like respawns with the exact?
Yes.
It was supposed to be like you're limited so that you have to pick a role, and then you need your other people on the team to support you. And if everybody could do all roles, it kind of goes against our whole supporting your squad thing. So if you feel like you need more loadouts, maybe you should try to synergize better with your teammates instead of constantly swapping out for, I need an anti-vehicle. Oh, no one's capping. I'll just switch to the thing that can. Oh, we need another healer. I'll do
Yes.
So that's my story.
Strategize a little bit.
Yes. So why 7? Could it be 9? I don't think that's like the difference between 7 and 9, for example, is going to alter the entire thing, what we're trying to achieve. But maybe we, at this point, it's just more annoying than actually achieving the goal of synergy. But like I said, that's up to you. Is it now Tartarus Hellstorm?
Yes.
Okay. Are we, Chaos, getting more God blessed themed weapons anytime soon?
Anytime soon? Well, soon. Define soon.
Because I mean,
soon.
Soon for me is something that has been in the game industry for 13, 14 years with us now, right? We even have T-shirts that say soon TN. We make those when we were working on Eve. Because if we say soon, it means tomorrow or in 3 years. And that's pretty much the rule in game industry.
Half-Life 3 is coming out soon as well.
Pretty soon. Pretty soon is a bit more than closer than just soon.
Yeah, but this is one of the first ones we can write eventually, though.
Yes.
It's eventually. Yes, of course, we would like to do more God-themed
but we have some ideas.
Weapons and armor. Actually, weapons would be sooner.
Yes.
That's a thing.
Yes, sooner. But don't ask soon, because you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah, but like Plague Marines and Noise Marines and stuff, they're not, or Rubric Marines, they're not like on the short term soon.
No, but we have permission to do them.
Okay, yes, good. That's like, permission is half the battle.
Yeah, permission of actually using them in the game is halfway there. And so you can dream.
And so will we.
And so will we. I mean, everybody loves a Noise Marine, right?
So Chaotic Static has a very important question.
Okay.
When do we get glitter grenades?
We actually did have something glittery the other day, but that was a bug, right? Maybe you can bring some of it back.
Yeah, I saw you can order like glitter poops from Amazon. There's a little glitter thing. Yeah, surprised you don't have one of those.
The stuff that you found, you didn't send her?
Maybe only
like
you.
Diamond glitter?
He hasn't sent me.
Oh no, I only sent that. Yeah, so there was like the most glittery glitter
guy, right?
ever. But Katie and I aren't chatting on the weekend like you and I do.
I mean, there are even grenades today which could be actually classified as glowing, glittery stuff. But no, sorry.
You have to just keep spamming them.
Yeah. That's the only way. Squeaky wheel gets the beer.
So I knew that most of them wouldn't appreciate that question.
No, I know.
So I will follow up with another question.
Oh, okay.
From Zag the Third. Is it true that you guys need to ask Games Workshop about every change you make in the game?
Yes. However, there are certain areas which are just predefined, which is more, how do you say it? The game itself. Like, we don't have to ask them about like balancing and tuning, stuff like that.
Right.
But for example, when we created Tempest Launcher, they approved that box of
absolutely. We have
the
to
VFX and everything.
The Warhammer 40K IP is really strict, and we have to stay exactly in that box. But as long as we can do whatever we want.
Yes.
But yeah, anytime we're adding something new that maybe bends the rules, we definitely have to ask, and then they usually say no if it really goes outside of like
but like for
specific
example,
Warhammer stuff.
exactly. But for example, art assets, each and every single one has to be formally approved.
Mm-hmm.
The same goes with like in this case, like a launcher, like the visual effects and everything has to be there, and we can change the colors and of the VFX maybe, and of course variations of the weapons. But you know, there's a box and another box here. But in general, yes, the answer is Games Workshop has to approve all. But it happens in different ways, all the way from like a formal approval, like for an art asset, or for example, the Space Marine in its entirety, like the basic one that took I think 2 years.
Just for them to come back and say yes.
No,
It's like,
it's a long back and forth because I mean it's the most iconic thing that they have in their IP, and other things are soft approval. Is that you know we're going to do this and this with this type of weapon, and it's fine.
Yeah, even before Twitch, when there's something we have ready to show that's new that's never been seen, we send it off to them first and say we're going to show this on Twitch. Is it cool with you guys? And usually they say yes. So you know so.
Take that question. We'll take that later.
Sure.
So that's that. Yes, I mean pretty much everything, just different levels of approval.
We're allowed to go to the bathroom anytime we want.
Absolutely.
We don't have to ask Games Workshop for that.
It's all about boxes and working outside the box while staying in the box. See what I did there? Lashclaw the Rehabilitated.
Well, Lash is his clan. In there.
Yeah, I know, but it's like this sounded much better.
Lashclaw.
Lashclaw the Rehabilitated.
I like that he's been rehabilitated.
What is the intention? My intention is certainly not to marry your daughter, but the intention for multiple characters worked with regards to the faction. Should they be able to each get the rewards and get loot separately, or shared loot but separate requisition rewards? Just making sure.
So, the thing is, anything you purchase with requisition points, and that includes faction, I'm totally confused here. Rogue Trader, everything you purchase with Rogue Trader credits is account bound, including faction Rogue Trader credits.
Yes.
So, and that sort of ties in with the campaigns. If you earn faction Rogue Trader credits on a character, you can only earn that once because you can spend that and it's account bound, and it just goes into your, and then your requisition and your advancement points are character. So you can play the campaign with multiple characters and always earn the requisition points. And any requisition you purchase or anything you get in the advancement tree is character bound. So Rogue Trader credits account bound, everything else character bound.
Yes.
So it's pretty simple.
And that was actually us being nice, because we said, well, I mean, if you buy it, shouldn't you be able to use it in all your accounts?
Right. We're nice.
And that's why you can. But the other stuff is that's the sweat of your brow.
Question for Noah from
For me.
Wolk Grim.
Okay.
Are we going to see those sub-faction skins anytime soon? Wait, no, hold on.
Right.
The sub-factions / skins anytime soon.
Well, they haven't been forgotten, and so we still want to do all successor chapter, different craft world, different
but I mean
clans type of thing.
But it comes down to the factions being rather homogeneous already. So if you're thinking you just want the color scheme, and look, and it says whatever sub-faction, second founding, or the equivalent for all the other factions, these can be made rather easily.
Except not Black Templar. Everything but Black Templar.
However, if they're supposed to be meaningful, that's a totally different story. That's why we haven't put them in right now, because I mean we could We could have Crimson Fists, by next week.
As long as it was a fist that was crimson.
Yeah, just the fist is crimson, and you're a Crimson Fist. There you go.
Yeah, but so you mean like if we would do Flesh Tearers, for instance, we would maybe want a special Flesh Tearers Eviscerator weapon and
something like
also.
that.
I would totally buy that in a second.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
that's like my thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and pizza.
Yeah.
Judah Silfarian, do you have an ETA? See, these questions about when are never going to be answered, other than no, eventually, or soon. Because...
But it's fun, we get to talk about the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Eventually
that's
say
true.
eventually or soon.
At least when we say no, they know no. They know no. Yeah. Judah Silfarian, do you have an ETA for the ability to access the settings menu from the character hub? It's actually a task already on price, I think. And if not, we know about it, and we talked about it last time. So
eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
It's good. Great.
From Clevered, do you contact Relic Entertainment in any way? Do you maybe collaborate mechanics development with them in any way?
Say it again.
That's for you. That's like a big
Do
part
we
type of thing.
contact Relic Entertainment in any way, and do we collaborate on any mechanics with them?
No, none of the games collaborate in any way. We all have separate licenses, and the licenses, by their nature, are confined to a certain area, type of game, period of time in the 40K universe. Even the games that are actually Horus Heresy, even. So we are even to the point that we all have to do our own Space Marines, then go through the process. So no, there's no like communication like this, but us as...
I didn't get a free copy of Dawn of War 3.
No.
That's really what they want to know
neither,
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, exactly. But we as people with a license, we have a mail group, and we talk together and do stuff together. Sometimes promotions and stuff like that, but not in terms of gameplay and things like that. However, maybe, some form of deep cross promotions might actually pop up, somehow through the Steam economy, for example, or that. So there are thoughts out there on that part, but not the games themselves. For example, Blood Ravens are off limits for everyone except Relic.
It's their own invention.
Turret Monkey wants to know, will there be a second round of guild banners?
Turret Monkey.
Yeah.
I like that. Turret Monkey.
Yes, there will be eventually a second round. The problem is that our beloved Isabel that made the other ones, which we want to make these, is working on a very secret project right now. Very
She's
secret.
Absolutely swamped.
Absolutely
She's
swamped.
no time to talk to us
Yeah,
anymore.
no.
Yeah.
And she would like nothing more than come back to blood and gore. I can tell you that.
It's true.
And no, it's not My Little Pony. Kind of close, but still. So, Belphegor. Has the design idea behind Elites changed, or are there still free advancement versions like for the Commander plan for all factions?
So, it really depends if it's necessary. Like, so for the Possessed, we don't really plan to add anything. It remains to be seen if his... the speed at which he goes is like necessary to add an advancement. I don't think it's necessary. Like so our concern is if they would be pay to win, which we don't want to have.
Yes.
We don't want to make a game where you can pay for better performance.
Yes.
So we will add any features as a free or earned version if it's necessary, like the cloak.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been planned for the other factions yet. That's that.
I mean, the heroes that you're buying is essentially a very, very pimped up version and cool looking person that has this ability inherently.
Yeah, but we couldn't really do commandos without having them sort of stealthy, right?
No, yeah.
So and extra cunning.
Yes, extra cunning. However, it doesn't mean that we are not going to add more levels of heroes even of the same type, so that, you know, there's the commando that we have now, and there might be a pantsless commando that you can buy for 200,000 rep points or whatever, right? So
yes, you don't believe everything Nathan says.
no, I'm just giving you this as an example. Okay.
Okay, so all of them are asking about the status of the Blood and Gore DLC.
Well, from one perspective it's done. From another perspective, there's a ton missing. And let me qualify that. If we just want more blood on the screen, we have that already, and because we actually took it out. If we want something more than just, you know, changing this into a splatter movie, like special executions or special barks.
Eviscerations.
What about if we wanted a way to charge people over Steam to have their version have blood and other people's not? Is that ready? I don't think that's ready.
No.
So 100% more blood to everything. Yes, ready.
Yes.
The Switch, not ready.
Well, no, yes, no. Actually, the Switch itself, based on the DLC, because it has DLC ID, we can turn it on and off. But it's probably pretty easy on your client side to actually flip that switch.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, it's work, of course. I'm just saying that the mechanics of DLC and activation is possible with work. So no, of course it's not ready, and no, we're not just going to make it more bloody, and that's why it's not coming out quite yet. But I mean, we are big fans because, believe me, we took no pleasure in having to be 16 plus. But that's what you need to do to be in a lot of stores. And sad fact, which is fortunately disappearing. We might even actually be able to raise the rating of the entire game.
I thought you were going to say we might be able to raise the roof, but it is Friday after all.
The roof is not on what?
No, it's all bloody. Yeah, like.
Yeah.
Xavier
Light, is it possible to add weapons or mods that are only available in PvE, such as flamer weapons, mods to turn primary rifles into pseudo shotguns, etc.?
Now it depends what he means by "is it possible?" Because
yes,
no, and yes. It's like
it's
like is it possible? Everything is possible. Have we implemented this feature, and could we easily just add weapons that are only available in PvE? No. So. That's yes, it's possible. No, I can't do it in like our current framework.
No. I mean, some people are getting and starting to argue about the blood and gore. Is that yes, we want the blood. Yes, raise the limit. I want decapitations, and well, that happened to be a lot of the old executions were that gory, splitting people in two and stuff like that. We like that. I don't know why. Is it getting hot in here?
It's like a requirement to work in this industry, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Is there
Listen.
any plan to limit resupplying, as you can just spam grenades this way?
Oh, you mean resupply on
the crate?
Yeah. Well, we thought about it, but I don't think our gameplay and maps are actually ready to even do that, because when we did that in PvE, it was a whole lot of work balancing it, of course.
Balancing the...
Because you had scarcity of crates rather than anything else. You didn't have a limit on the crates, but at least scarcity.
But I think they probably mean like putting a cooldown timer on the person.
Yeah, exactly. That and in general,
Katie's got a Windows.
Like if I hit snooze, is it snoozing the computer? Or is it going to
pick a time? Pick a time.
Pick a time. And say not during next week's Twitch.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
1 week from today at 2
Her
o'clock.
laptop wants to update Windows 10 to the creators update. So
no.
Thanks,
No update
Bill
for you.
Gates.
Holy shit! It's already 25 minutes past. Let's do this faster because we have to give something away.
And we're on page 2
you
of
have to
6.
You have to do it on that one though.
So I get to talk more, and you get to talk less.
Okay. Ishan Destan, will we ever see more detailed description for war gear and abilities so we know what each ability does instead of some random, what's not a random description? I would love to know how much boon of change heals compared to the, yes, and be able to decide which healing being can use it. I mean, pretty much he's asking about the standard thing of comparisons, etc.
Or just tool tips that show better
tips that
info.
show them, yeah.
Will we?
Eventually,
Oh yeah, I guess eventually. It's always something the designers wanted, so it's not that it's not in the design, or that we don't want to. So yes.
What time is it? Okay, because we have like different time on here.
what's happening
It's about 2:30.
What's happening at 2:30?
Well, we'll do some giveaways.
Okay.
Are we doing an hour or half an hour? Do we need to really rush through these?
Do you guys want us to go a little bit longer, or do you want us to end, at the half hour? Let's let them decide today.
All right.
Okay.
Who are we going to host after us?
DJ.
DJ.
Well, can he wait for us to answer questions?
He's gonna have to wait.
Some of these questions are good. I would like to get to the.
Yeah, let's get
That's
going.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
But we should do a giveaway just like now,
Okay.
and then we'll do after. But you have to do it on that one because I don't have the plug-in on this baby.
So let's see.
Oh, it switched languages on me. Oh no.
So I'm supposed to do this? Are you crazy? Ah, here it is. Say something, Noah.
Okay, I can. Let's.
Well, what are we giving away,
see.
first of all? We should do a relic pack.
Yeah, relic pack.
There's lots of people asking about relic packs. They're like offering me their firstborn for relic packs. I don't want your kids. But I would like flowers. So how are we doing this? Random or trivia? I feel like
No,
we
random.
We should do a trivia after.
Yeah, we can do a trivia next.
Okay.
This one is random.
Random on Twitch.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
For a relic pack.
You have to spam.
Spam away.
Spam away. Let's do this. Brought the toaster. I love me some toast.
I saw
What?
when I was walking to work today, there was just all this burnt toast on the sidewalk. That just reminded me.
Why?
I don't know.
Where do you live?
Apparently not in a good area.
Just up the street.
Yeah, I mean, but I like free toast.
Yeah, but it was burnt toast.
Yeah, it's well, that's probably the reason for why it was lying on the street outside,
Yes.
right?
Anyway, go on.
The toaster. How many people work currently on Eternal Crusade in-house? So the number right now of in-house is 13. It's actually 15 today. And then we have two sister teams here, which are working on Delbadilla and on the new
Top secret thing?
top secret thing, but they are using our code base, so we get some of their tech as well. So for example, the Unreal 4.15, well, they released 4.16, so it might be that. That update we will actually get back, as an example. Then, of course, we have customer support, and we have DevOps, which manages all our servers and everything, and networking. And then we have also outsourcing, which is all the art. So internally, there's not very many of us. But we're all pretty nice-looking people, and pretty funny, too. The internal team has never been that big. We don't make games that way here. Because, all the art was pretty much outsourced. The same with animation, stuff like that. So there you have that.
Should we pick our winner?
Yes.
Go for it.
Oh,
Press the button.
sorry.
03
03.
weirdo.
Oh, 03 weirdo.
Congrats.
Oh, I want to know the significance of the 03.
Yes, let us know. Or I'm not giving you your relic pack. Which, by the way, I will write you on your Twitch account after the show.
Guys, though, What are the steps being taken to make the orc faction support class more viable, engaging, and useful?
So none steps right now, but we hear your cries, and we know we know this is something we need to address, and so we will. But like as of
He's
today,
drinking their tears right now.
yeah, as of right now, there aren't any steps being made.
Your tears are delicious.
Mm-hmm. But we will.
But I mean,
look to address it.
I'm gonna make them engaging.
Mm-hmm. Yes, more engaging.
An engaging paint boy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So they will want to engage more.
Fucking dad jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Loop Master, why are your shows getting shorter with less content progress to show? Hey, great question. It is
but
because
today we're going overtime. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. So they're not shorter. They may be longer. We're still on page 2 of 6.
Yes.
So we might be here till 4 o'clock.
Exactly. The answer is quite simple. We had a lot of talk and we had a lot of questions and we had the production update. And the production update was usually the shortest part of the Twitch. And we wanted to change the format, and we did that a long time ago. And we'd rather support our community and host them during these times.
Mm-hmm.
We expect Eternal Battles to be part of our hosting. We also have a new initiative, which is called Call to Arms, which is blow up the servers. And of course now DG Penguin is going to be afterwards hosted.
Yeah. And it used to be that Brent used to like to drive around in the Rhino badly and answer the questions.
Yes.
And that took longer, right?
Yeah,
you know, he was
let's
distracted.
not even go there.
It's
So
hard to play and answer.
Yes.
So we listened and we're doing just
and we added
the Q&A.
Added to the top of that is that we update UAT so often now that the stuff is already in your hands.
Before our show,
Yes.
so you know,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
be showing you
But
this.
I mean, for example, next Twitch we will actually have stuff for you to see that might not have reached UAT. Well, it might have reached the day before, but that you can still use it for Twitch. But that's the reason. I mean, we have always been stretching it out to an hour with a lot of things, and we thought this would be a better format. And I mean, if you want us sitting here for an hour, bad jokes and answering questions which have been asked a billion times before, we totally can. I mean, it's flattering to say that no, we want you to be longer, but that we did. It's a format change. Regarding the less content and slower progress, this is a very natural part of running and operating a live game. You know, when you're just developing and have a beta running and stuff like that, you can be pretty gung-ho with the stuff that you do.
Full production period, there's a lot more just new stuff constantly coming into the game. And
right now, no. Because in the production and pre-production period, we spend, of course, less time on actually fixing stuff, right? Now, that's not acceptable anymore. So we're actually cleaning up. It's called technical debt, and that's what we're working on. And the features that we work on right now, of course, requires more effort because they have to be scalable, so on and so forth. So it is. It was gruesomely slow actually. So this is actually super slow. For us, it's actually quite fast because we can do things quite fast with our combination of our infrastructure and Unreal. But for you, it feels like ages. I know. Norm is. When will you add the rewards for those who did all the achievements before launch? Oh, yes.
was that a thing?
Yeah, yes, it was a thing, but,
Okay.
but the reward, of course, was having the achievements, but Steam did not want that. So, like, we would stop the scout achievements actually when the game went live, and they would be unique to you. Of course, that meant that if you remove them, you can never do 100% of the achievements. The system just doesn't support pre-launch achievements or anything like that, or at least didn't when we were there. So we need to find something else for that. Maybe when we do emblems. Right? No, and I think we can figure something out. What that is remains to be seen. Because it was pretty cool if you achieved them all, especially because one of them was kill dev.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we need to play more often during the Twitches so that they can kill a dev. Because that's still an achievement, right? It's still yeah. So I guess that's
Well, I mean, I like when I jump into games on live, I'm usually on my dev account and I'm chatting to the people and they still shoot me.
True.
So
but I just meant, because every Friday we'd do it at a certain time, it was like, okay, if I want to kill a dev, I know that this is when I should log in.
So that was part of it, sure, but it usually ended up with a certain rhino driving over teammates and having problems answering questions.
True.
So, that being said, Adiros, can you let the community send in ideas or maybe help with creating cosmetic items to make all orcs fabulous? Yes, we have been talking about the Steam workshop, which would then basically be an approval process, which we would then take and send off, and we would look at it with Games Workshop. So it's almost kind of like a competition system rather than anything else. It's not the Steam workshop where you just, I like this, install, and suddenly you have that in the game. And there are a couple of games on Steam that actually do this, and that will probably be the first thing to do, but we're not there yet. But that's how we would actually allow contributions for externally. But it's not exactly our problem right now.
No, not at all. Yeah, ideas. So 30 years of Warhammer so far? There's plenty of ideas out there that fit well within Games Workshop's box that we talked about earlier. It's sort of that stage where you go from Maya into Unreal. We wouldn't, we have proprietary tools that turn the Maya files into the exact Unreal asset that we deal with, and we wouldn't hand those out to the public. And I don't really think there would be a way for people to submit finished assets to us. So it ends up being just as much work for us to make stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Than it would be for people to help us come up with ideas and make 3D stuff.
Someone was asking if they shoot a dev and we're on the same team, does it count? It
No.
does not count. It did for a little while. Yeah. For a hot minute.
That happened to you, and you're like, wait a minute, they're getting the achievement for team killing me.
For one Twitch show, it was
it was like by next Twitch, they were like, no, not
30 years of no decent Eldar Shrine skin rules, though. Yeah. We know that pain. Because we're all Eldar fans. We're also all Eldar and Orc and Space Marine and Chaos Space Marine biased friends. Which is pretty difficult.
Yeah.
It's like I'm four personalities fighting each other.
No, I only like Tau and Dark Eldar and Necrons.
Are we going to add them to the game?
Yeah, we're adding them next patch.
Dongslayer, what is the answer to life, the universe, and everything?
It's 42.
Yes.
I knew that one.
Because, as you know, 40K is our future. It is prophecy, which we cannot write, but hey, self-fulfilling prophecies.
There's been a bunch of questions about Terminators.
Terminators are halfway done. The problem with the last half is that it's probably 3 months of work for about 4 animators to even get close to finished. And right now that's a lot of money and resources, which we would rather use on all the heroes and more variations and work on what we already have. Halcyon. The dev team previously stated that the Orc campaign was so successful that the balance of factions was thrown off. Yes.
It broke the internet.
It broke the internet. They said
That's you.
Yeah, I know. It's like they said there would be adjustments to the Chaos campaign that would help alleviate this top-heavy faction effect. But the Chaos campaign was just as bad. What's being done for the third campaign that wasn't done on the 2 other campaigns to address this? And the answer is nothing. Because, I don't know how many times you have said this yourselves, and maybe you've decided to not remember right now, but it has always been, including us, that shifting balances in factions would be near impossible. But look at that. We do a campaign with some RTC and a unique item, and half the game goes over to a faction. So that broke our systems, plain and simple. Can we fix that in a day? No, we can't. However, we are actually doing a round on the campaign system that has started, and the matchmaker still won't handle an imbalance like that. If everybody is playing one faction, you will have to wait.
Well, there's no such thing as a matchmaker. So reality won't handle more like if 51% of.
No, yes, that's what I mean. Sorry, yes.
That 1% that doesn't have anybody else will just infinitely wait. There is no.
Yeah.
So
there is no fix.
Yeah.
So that's why nothing is going to be done for the two next campaigns. But long term, this is something we are going to address, probably with simple things, which would be rewards for the other factions of being there as well. Stuff like that. But it was quite interesting to see, and it's been breaking our systems, but it's been overwhelmingly positive, and it was and is amazing to see this activity. You broke the internet for us.
Yeah, when you during this Chaos campaign, if you look at the all the matchups, like you go into our admin tool and see, it's like Chaos versus everybody. Like every single map is Chaos versus somebody, and it was the same for Orcs before, and and I mean everybody's saying like, nobody's gonna play the Orcs. Well, we had a 10-fold increase in people that played the Orcs during that goddamn campaign. Imagine that. People playing Orcs. Who would have thought? J.K. Revan, how about a button to change the shoulder camera to rest on? So we can choose whether to have left or right shoulder camera. The interesting thing about this question is just, how about a button? And it seems so simple if we would just add a button. But like I started thinking about like the consequences of this. So you would have to basically mirror all of the animations, and then you would have to mirror all of the animations like that. It just changes everything. So it's not like just adding a button is sort of like first create the universe, and then evolve humankind, and then make a video game, and then add a button that lets you like mirror
turn the universe around.
Because
you might hear that we are a bit tired of this question.
What happens when you switch weapons? Okay, so now I have my melee weapon out, and it's always like right click is this weapon and left click is that weapon. Oh, now suddenly it's mirrored, or wait, it's only mirrored for certain weapons. So it gets super. It's not going to happen.
And now the experts here come and say, you don't need to do this, you can do it like that, you can do it you cannot. Like really seriously, you cannot.
So the camera is, every single weapon in the game has its own camera, and that's why like the different classes seem like they have a different camera. So just swapping the camera over, it's like the hit scan goes from the camera, but the tracer goes out from your gun, and it's a lot of different problems. And like you can see it with, I don't know, it's not as easy as
sounds stressed.
Well, it's like, just make a button. Just have the programmer type mirror it in the thing. And, it's like
it is.
I mean, if it was so easy, we would just do that. We would have done it years ago, right?
Well, actually, I answered someone the other day. It's like, why didn't you do this? It's so easy. It's like, well, do you really honestly think that we didn't try all the industry-wide known tricks to do it cheaply and see if they worked first before doing $1 million solution to it? What do you think?
Yeah,
I think we did.
So,
and we did.
We would actually, if you could send us the button, maybe if he would send us the button, we would just put it in. But no, it seems really easy. And also, I mean, even like this is a common sort of game
They
designer.
said I now have found what to say to trigger Noah.
Yeah. No, it's just
add a button.
so
triggers me too.
I've been doing game design for over a decade, and there's like this thing where it seems so simple, and then you go to the programmer and they're like, no, it can't because of this and this and this and this and this, and like, why can't you just do this thing? And they're like, it's impossible. But then other times you have this thing you think is super complicated, and you're like, oh, I gotta ask him if he can do this thing. It's gonna be complicated, and they're like, oh, it was just like a line or two of code, and it was like, really? Well, how come? Whatever. And you know, you go back to your desk, and so yeah, this is like a very common sort of experience for me from both sides, you know, having people ask, why don't you just implement this feature, and also, why can't we just do this simple feature? But it's
like Philos Azel is saying,
okay.
Why not re-render the Power Claw and use the animation for Possess Marine instead of the Power Fist? It's just like were you listening to what we just said?
Okay, yeah, they haven't experienced this.
No. Because, you know, it's
banging your head against the wall sort of experience.
So Landshore said he likes Sassy Nathan because you smile a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Putting it up there.
Okay.
So moving on from the button.
Yeah.
You can swipe right.
Gungasm.
Yes.
He I saw him earlier. He was saying he hopes that we see his question. So
yes.
I'm glad that we've seen his question.
Can orcs get some shoulder or backpack cosmetics with pointy sticks that have LSM, CSM, and Eldar helmets on them?
I like that idea, and so it's a maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I think we should do it. So.
I mean.
So yes, maybe eventually. I like it, and.
Yes, and you have an idea in your mind which you're going to try out.
We've got pointy sticks and we got helmets.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, seems cool. Yeah, it's a thing, and also it's fits in the lore, so easy for GW to say yes. That's a thing. So, and orcs love putting poles, multiple ones, like Flash gets. Cool. Okay.
Colonel Zanders wants to know, Nathan, if you like your socks.
I love the socks.
He arrived a little bit late.
He tuned in late. Nathan talked about the socks for like
at the beginning.
15 minutes.
Catch it on YouTube.
There was a whole. Everybody was wondering why Nathan was talking about his socks so much and not Terminators.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love the socks. Fat bastard Nathan. Regarding RTC items,
you forgot his name.
I was going to say kind of like
improvising, mix it in there.
Yeah, but sometimes if it's just impossible to say, you just skip over it and you're like, no one will know.
Asrakai.
Fearless and just butcher people's names. Like Sychopsky.
I love that name.
It's not, Okay, sorry.
Okay, Asrakai, regarding RTC items, why are they so weirdly priced? You have Alpha Legion Dragon Head shoulders, for example, which despite being identical in every way are priced 2K for left and 4K for right. Mm-hmm. Is this just a case of the prices are still being worked on, or is this how you intend to keep it?
I have a great answer for that. So, there's hundreds of items in the store, and recently when we did that massive price reduction, cut the value of the store by 50% or something. It was a really lots of discounts, but everything was in a big file, and it was all based on the popularity of the item. Stuff that's really popular didn't get reduced. Stuff that nobody bought got fire sale. So for this item specifically, used to cost 6K either or. When sorted by popularity and then the amount of discount was applied, it turns out that one of them sold twice as many as the other. So it ended up way higher on the list and way lower on the list, and then it got its discount and ends up one is 2,000 and one is 4,000, which actually probably makes it now more attractive for people to buy that unpopular one for 2,000. And so that's the story. Yeah, things are based on the popularity of the item.
It's in-game stores. They have discounts and they have price changes, and they may not seem logical to you, but there is sometimes.
Yeah, it would have taken far more work for me to go through and look at every single one and say, oh, this and this are similar. Also, you'll find the same thing Chaos and Space Marine.
I don't want to spend a week on doing that.
Yeah, it's like the same shoulder or whatever, the same backpack maybe or whatever might be different. So sometimes it could be a bug as well. You know, the wrong price could be in there, but everything had a reason. And like for the example given, it's because one shoulder is twice as popular as the other, so it got reduced less than the other one. So there. That's my story.
Amazing. Ashery wants to know, with the upcoming changes to the Eldar tanks, will we see the Falcon get some much-needed love in its turret weapons?
No.
Well, the thing is, I like where he's going with the turret weapon thing, because it is cooperation. Like, if you're driving an Eldar vehicle and you have someone else manning the turret, that is the thing that should get the love, is the turret. But, like, the Warp Hunter is, like, out of control OP compared to the others. Sorry, I'm just, now people are going to freak out. But, like, really, you can solo person hop in this thing, suddenly no longer most weapons can't hurt you anymore. You've got this amazing thing where you can strafe around and just roadkill everyone. And if anybody runs away from you, you also have a gun that you can control, and no other factions have that. So, like, the Warp Hunter needs some love in the sort of nerf category. And until we do that...
Can you imagine what happened earlier?
Yeah, well...
He was playing. Yeah. But anyways...
But, yeah, like, so I don't want to buff the Falcon until the love happens, you know.
Yeah, there's 3 pages left. That's true.
And I know, C-Train, that the Falcon is not the Warp Hunter, but I'm saying until the vehicles get their basics, you know. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Question for Noah from Anvil. Can we see some good pictures of all 4 races' weapon walls?
Yeah, but I mean, of course, I need to hide some spoilers and like upcoming work in progress stuff that hasn't been announced yet. And I was checking into it. I do have a way of exporting screenshots that are bigger than my screen.
Yeah.
All I saw was Noah for president.
But it's
that one.
It's a little bit of work.
Well, I mean, the basic thing about Eldar vehicles and vehicles
you're back
in general,
to where we were talking about.
I'm just saying that in general, PhysX, the native physics engine, is not the greatest. And as an example, it got its first patch in 3 or 4 years just the other day, which incidentally actually affects performance and vehicle controls. It gives you an idea.
But maybe you could put it together for next Twitch or following Twitch.
What, the wall, the weapon wall stuff? Yeah, sure. I bet.
Yeah, the wall. Yeah. Giveaway.
Whoa, we're
Texasaur wants to know
Jesus
that
Christ.
we got
Nathan,
so many pages. We gotta hurry.
You're his hero.
Oh, I'm somebody's hero.
Yes.
This
Twitch.
one.
I wish some of you would be my wingmen, like when you're going out in the air, just all over the place. Like, hey, this guy over there. He's making that computer game I love, and then everything's done. Story of my life.
So,
Next.
question from Twitch Prime Gortog. Will 8th edition affect this game in any way? Like maybe some new weapons or sub-factions, depending on what happens?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we don't have any extra.
We actually haven't
info.
started the giveaway, by the way, guys.
I am.
But we don't get extra info, like Games Workshop doesn't, like, so we're on the same rumor sites as you guys are in terms of the tabletop. So it's really hard to speculate on how the game could change, but if new cool stuff comes out that fits with our game, obviously we do it.
I mean, our license isn't for the tabletop game, just to be clear. I mentioned this earlier, like the licenses are very specific to genre and type of game and everything. Our license is about the 40K universe and the lore from them, and that's where the game comes from. We might take something from the tabletop game and use that as inspiration for the game itself, but it's predominantly the lore. I mean, if there's massive changes coming that would affect us specifically, sorry, we would get a heads up, but that's not happening. However, I think people will be actually pretty happy with the 8th edition.
Seems like it so far.
Because my Facebook feed is filled
Yeah, they're doing a pretty good job of trickling out daily info that's like really building sort of the hype for 8th edition. And definitely.
I'm so happy that being in so many 40K groups who are all reposting these leaks, filling my entire newsfeed. So right now my newsfeed is people taking a picture of themselves and making themselves old, and the daily leak from Games Workshop.
Yeah.
Thank you all. I know some of you are doing it.
So if you type Relic Pack into the chat, 2 words, we'll do a Relic Pack giveaway on Twitch.
Nice.
Because YouTube still doesn't have a plugin. Sorry. We could do it on YouTube after, though. But Twitch first.
Yes.
Type Relic Pack.
We got to do speed round on some of these things.
When will, like, Meridius is asking, when will a guild manage Garrison, Strike Cruiser, blah, 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 maybe wishful thinking, but I'm sure I can remember those ones be implemented to the game along with the population cap increased in the Garrison to accommodate large builds.
Guilds.
You know why? It's just, can you add the button?
Yeah, no. So the Strike Cruiser is on the long term, and increasing the cap for the Garrison is something probably easy. We can just talk to the guys about it and just do it.
Yes,
So
I think it was set to prevent from too many garrisons half filled spawning up, because when we spawn a server,
This is not speed round.
no, when we spawn a server on servers, then we reserve resources for that server, which means that you could have an entire machine, well, not the machine, one entire fortress slot.
Yeah, it's
For
a
one
warehouse
person
in some
in
Amazon thing.
for a garrison that had one person in it. But that is not the problem anymore, so we should probably be able to push it up to, like, I don't know, 200?
Yes. Okay. Maybe 60.
We'll do a giveaway for a Relic Pack on YouTube as well. So while Twitch keeps spamming Relic Pack, YouTube can spam Relic Pack too. Go for it.
Okay, so will we consider implementing sonic weapons? No.
No.
I could go into it, but no. Okay. Let's see. What are some things we look forward in the next 3 months? We're not going to talk about that now. Okay.
Because we talked about the last 2 months.
Yeah, we did. We had that thing.
And after those 2 months, we're going to talk about the next 2 months.
Yeah. Could you explain why Mandy Blasters are constantly being pushed back and what makes them so difficult? So it's priority versus complexity. Mandy Blasters are not the highest priority thing, and implementing them, like what button do they use on a controller, for instance, also how do the VFX look, that kind of stuff, that's why. So, can we
They
please,
are complex.
Yes, can we please have standard quality visual duplicates of our owned RTC and Founder weapons added to our inventories? They look identical but not have the same features as the Mastercrafted. And I think the thing is, really, the feature of the feature that people don't like about Mastercrafted is pretty much all Mastercrafted stuff just costs 100 more LP, and it's not always 100 LP worth it. And so I would like to do a balance pass on the LP cost of all that stuff, rather than, like, yes, giving you like a Rogue Trader looking version that is standard would be like a way to solve this 100 extra thing, but I think it would be better to just balance the game a little bit more. That amount was just, it was a bit like pre-launch rush, and nobody got back to artistically balancing everything, and I think it just has to be done. So
well, there's been one round, but we need to do one more, and of the 2 solutions, this one is quicker and probably fulfills.
Yeah, there was a very mean customer service. He was not very nice in there, but he pointed out the fact that there's a mod that's cheaper to do the same thing than Mastercraft. So it's like, what's the point? And I mean, it's not a point. It just needs
1,000
to be
items. So I mean, total. If you saw it, oversight of it all means that there is stuff slipping through the cracks.
So our winner on YouTube is Mr. Fernando. Congrats.
Hey,
I need you to put your email, on your channel homepage for me, so I can write you. And we'll do
What he
Twitch
says
for
there,
this
hello,
Twitch.
my name is Mr. Fernando.
Yes, but his email is not there.
But you have his name, Mr. Fernando.
I have his name, yes.
Yeah. So
And on
this,
Twitch,
go ahead.
Polar.
Polans Polare.
Thank you.
Polans Parale. Yeah.
Congrats to you.
Congrats.
They were typing like really hard, all of them. You guys do know you only have to type it once, right?
So
Please make a better tutorial button for new players.
so this
It's been going on a while.
question was already asked, so we'll skip
You know
it,
what?
right?
This means that we're just going to give DJ a ton of giveaways because we were going to do more giveaways.
Yeah,
And
you answered that one in
Okay.
the previous thing. So Lancher wants to know about muting people on voice over IP. I don't have to read his whole question. He loves us, and he says our voice is great, but he wants to mute the crying babies.
well, I mean, you can mute individuals. Tab E and select.
Yeah.
But are we going to expand?
You want to private channels and
Yeah, I mean, are we going to become Discord
Mm-hmm.
or TeamSpeak? No.
Mhm.
They have a couple of years as an entire team developing these tools, and we have partners that we have been talking to that we might implement at a certain point in time, which gives us easily the functionality to provide that. But right now, this might get a couple of other functions besides just muting and muting all and muting individuals, but yeah, eventually.
Yeah. This is a question about Chaos God Cosmetics. Didn't we answer a
Wait,
similar
one button was actually
Noise Marines and stuff.
there
We
was
talked about that.
one button actually, which I
Yeah.
remember, is that yes, we actually want to do like global and then just squad.
Mr.
Voice.
Fernando,
Voice.
you can PM me if your name matches. Otherwise, it's better to put on your YouTube page, so I know it's you.
Will there be cosmetics for other chaos gods?
We kind of talked about that. We were talking about
Yeah. But I mean, one of them doesn't exist, of course. Well, yeah, the chaos gods.
Yeah, there's 4 of them.
No.
Sure.
Well, we see some updates to guild management.
Yeah, it doesn't
in-game.
exist, so it's 4.
Updates to guild management.
Yes, communications, invites, rank setup, etc.
No.
Okay.
Not right now.
All right. Next question
but,
then.
Okay, yes, putting your email in the chat also works, but you might get spammed, so maybe next time don't do that.
But you can think about it this way, which is that we take it kind of like in chunks now. So, I mean, we want to rework the entire squad thing, for example, which is both UI and how squad works and the bonuses. Bonai, and the same is with the guilds. It is going to come as a package which has quality of life improvements plus something eventually.
Okay.
Right? As a whole group. In the meantime, there might be improvements. From other systems like campaigns or guild goals coming in or something like that. But these specifically, these are much more as part of, as we call, overhaul. So eventually, Smurfkin. When will the ability for war party leaders to cancel queue for the war party without disbanding it be brought back?
He actually spelled it Cankla. That's why Nathan was stumbling. So the thing about that is
Kind of like cankles. Cankle.
If it was a feature and it's broken, that's just a bug. That's not like the design of it. But the thing is, the way the war party works is your war party leader, when he clicks to match, it asks all these people in your war party to go into the match. And there might be a window of opportunity before you've been matched where the war party leader cancels and you all cancel. That should work, and if it doesn't, that's the bug. But once you've all been matched into a match, if the war party leader cancels out, everybody else is matched and they'll just get pulled in, and the match itself doesn't know the war party leader canceled like those systems are actually separate systems. So there is not a feature that allows the war party leader to pull people out of their match. You're going to have to talk on some sort of comms or whatever to if you decide to leave the work.
Yes,
so
I mean, as Tchaikovsky is suggesting...
Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky, that's what I said, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, they can rewind and see if that's what you said.
The next match queues up too damn fast. So, yes, can we make it and tweak some parameters to make it less horrible, I guess to say?
Oh,
we
yeah,
might,
yeah,
sure.
I see what he means. So like, you're in the end of match and it just cues you right into the next match, and you want to like get some time to.
Yeah, it's like we can maybe twist some parameters there, because that's basically increasing the time period. Hey, Commander Dante or CM Dante. Are bear heads still on the agenda? Yes, anytime soon.
No. They're probably like last.
Yes.
On the
we have them, a couple of them actually, which were going to be for the Space Wolves.
I don't see us animating faces.
No, exactly, and that's
anytime soon.
So what we tried back then, you see sometimes we try and we're intelligent and we tried a simple solution. So we had a very good tool that creates faces, and our test in that case, like we were testing many cases of switching the camera or just mirroring. In this case, you really noticed in an eerie way if you didn't have at least some form of minimal.
Of course, everybody who was playing Orc right when they first came out, I mean, that was a constant complaint of they look, nightmare fuel. Why don't they have their eyes not have death in them, and so we're not implementing that because it's just not going to work. So we have to have naturally animated faces if we want to do them at all, and I just don't see that happening.
No, and besides the cost of it on the clients of doing all that animation, of two things, I would rather do more of capes and stuff like that rather than having animated faces as well.
Or those Terminators, for instance. We can animate them instead of...
Yeah, Terminators.
Instead of faces.
Nice, we could animate Terminators.
Terminators.
See, that's kind of the choices we have to make. Because when we wake up in the morning and go to work, it's like, oh my god, we're going to do this and this and this and this and this. And then like, oh man.
While walking by Burnt Toast.
While walking by Burnt Toast is like... I thought I had 17 animators. Okay, so I have to choose between Terminators, animated faces, or cloaks. And right now I would actually select cloaks because we have an example of how to do that, and can maybe do a cheap way of using them. But Terminators is a lot of animation work.
So Kajin, I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
451 from YouTube was saying, I was really hoping they would answer if they're working on the war gear descriptions to give more details what abilities do. Your question's actually like the next page.
Yeah.
But
I've seen
it a few times, so
I
could do it now.
we asked it already.
Yeah, we said the game designers want more descriptions of
that was last page?
Yeah, but the UI
so
time
it's
is going into something different right now.
Basically, people have to type it by hand, or it's not at all. That's how it works.
Semitrov, on the topic of armor colors, are there any plans to change the color of the default Chaos helmets to their respective colors instead of...
You're talking about the little thing that's like the little pointy thing. Sometimes it's an arrow, but other times it's just like a pointy thing. Yeah, so it's silver on everybody, and I could just change it to not be. Also, the belt buckle skull is silver, and I could just change that trim. So, we can do that. I just had never thought of it, but now that I see it, I'll just do it.
And I like mint gum.
Mint gum.
It was a question.
Oh yeah. What flavor of gum?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna do any product placement, even though it's on the table beside my laptop.
Can they? They can't see. It's just off. It's just off the screen.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
I would take Terminators with Minecraft animations.
So, Tchaikovsky has a pretty long question about the lunge sprint attack, and it was odd to me because I'm able to fire off the regular the shoulder bash. But I found out that it actually depends on which weapon you have if it fires correctly. So some of them are sort of like bugged. Like, you know, he says here, you try to do it. You're sprinting forward, then you stop moving, and then you do a thing. So some melee weapons don't fire off the sprint attack, and others do. And so it's like just seems like a
it's a perfect example of the work that we've been doing on melee in the last months, where we've been simply uncovering a ton of inconsistencies and like quirky things, especially when you have the animation cycles, and then you have two people with two types of different weapons. So he maybe climbs you first, and then you try this, and oh shit, it doesn't work. What the fuck? And we dig into that in the code and the animation sequences, and I mean, we're finding a lot of crazy shit. So that's why our focus is on fixing it and making it consistent before we actually do something more.
But I mean, this is like, I guess this is a consistency issue, because if you're tactical with a knife, you fire off.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
fine, but if you are with the power fist on, you stop.
Yes.
And then do a fist, and it's like, that's not cool. So
that's not cool. So thanks for that.
Galkas. Are there plans for rocket launchers?
No.
No.
Marine and Chaos?
Nope.
No, I asked for that like first day on the job. Hey, when are the rocket launchers coming in? I got a Space Wolves army, and Longfang's missile launchers were like the thing, you know. So of course my whole army is missile launchers, because you go for the most OP thing. And I'm like, I need missile launchers, and it turns out the reason we can't have them is because it's an entirely different animation set. They hold them in a different way, and they would move in it. So it's all these other mocap, and it's really expensive for us.
Why can't you just put a button that switches the camera so that you don't see the rocket launcher?
Exactly. So I would ask, can we have my Longfangs with a missile launcher multiple times? Everyone said no, so the answer is no, begrudgingly.
Yes. I mean,
no.
It's the same as with 200 weapons. Actually, it's a new animation set for everybody that uses, like, using this firing position and using weapons like this. And even our work around the cheap version of doing a 200 weapon without doing a 200 animation is if we can make them
one-handed.
Yeah, one-handed and more stabby. And some of that is not going to be allowed, because we tried. And it's like, nah, you can't be stabbing somebody with a tool, like a thunder. I'm not going to even go there. No. Cyber Dragon.
Before you read this long question, we kind of just talked about it earlier. It's about the Mastercrafted and changing the, can we have non-Mastercrafted version of da-da-da, but I would just like to change the cost on stuff so that it's... Yeah.
Number 1. Can you talk about
number 1.
What functionality will the world map have?
A lot.
Yeah, we can talk. I talk about it for hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, last Twitch or the Twitch before, I believe you went over it.
I went over it a little bit, but I don't really want to speculate about features that aren't like currently in development.
That's fair.
Yep.
Yeah. Because the world map took a lot of twists and turns on its way to the new one. And
I thought you were going to say it took a lot of years off your life.
Oh, besides that,
added a lot of gray hairs.
If you didn't know, I'm actually like 19, and you can see all this gray hair. I mean, I'm not even called the gray fox. I'm called the gray pup. Anyways, it'll have a lot of functionality, but and we have a list, and we could tell you that list, but we're not gonna. But we do have a place on our support website for feature requests where we do discuss it, and we actually do pin and flag some of the feature requests, because then you can see like, oh yeah, they are thinking about that and doing that.
Yeah. Also, it was designed with the extra functionality in mind.
Oh yeah, I mean this. So while we said, this is the first version, which is the visual update. Of course, the visual update is the entire new grid and everything to support the functionality that we're going to add on top of it.
That we'll talk about later.
Meta game. So yeah,
Before
So
this one disappears.
what functionality will the world map have?
Yeah.
More
Okay.
metagame.
Oh wait, she
Sorry.
was going to ask a question. You're
yes.
scrolling away.
Texasor wants to know, when will Noah tell me what toppings he wants on his pizza? He's ready to order, and you won't tell him.
Oh
so-
really? Well,
Yeah.
it's like
Now we're
late.
gonna talk about
It's
pizza
like
again, I'm
almost.
gonna die.
It's like 3:15. We were going to go for half an hour, and here we are 45. It's
Like
it's
an
not time
hour,
for
hour
pizza
and a
anymore.
half.
Well, they said.
I like
told us
most
to
stuff.
go.
Pepperoni is good. I go for just a classic pepperoni.
Yeah, but you've also given me some good combos that you've tried out.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Just depends. Like if I've had a lot of pizza, I'll start to get weird with my toppings.
Yeah. But it's not weird. It's like we sat one day and it was just awesomely delicious, and we were like, "How can this be?" And there were no pineapples on them, of course.
Yeah, they're illegal.
Mandulus, are open maps, semi-open maps still planned, or the idea has been completely abandoned? It is still planned.
Not abandoned. Actually, it is one of my sort of pet features. I really want
It's
to.
my pet peeve and this pet feature.
Yeah. No, I sort of talk this feature up to anybody who will listen to me, and I really want these in because even though, so not open world, but like a big open map. Various forum threads have come up about how it might work, and
we've called it open territories and open maps, and
Yeah, but I'm waiting for. I mean, you've talked about the personal goals stuff before. On Twitch.
we want to add personal goals to the campaigns and just in general.
Yeah, so I don't want a big open empty map with nothing in it without having personal goals. But the personal goals are a thing we're working on, and once we have those, then it sort of paves the way to have
it ties everything together. Because with the personal goals, we are of course looking at like a more modular approach, which means that we can more effectively watch different types of activities and count them based on clans, persons, factions, and they don't even have to be part of a campaign. They can actually just be part of your monthly rack up or whatever. And I love his idea and his approach because I think it fits perfectly. Well, it fits perfectly into the framework that we have, the hub and spoke, but it also happens to fit quite well with the functionality that we have in general, for an instance. And when we have proper goals, it's going to be glorious.
This is
so he sold me. You can notice that.
This is the last question here. We made it through. It didn't take us a half an hour.
Open maps, semi-open maps.
Yeah. There's
one
more question.
I actually just started wondering. It's like, what would be the difference between an open map? Because by definition, a map is actually limited, and that therefore.
You mean one where you wouldn't run off the edge of the world is flat and it like that kind of thing?
Well, anyways, doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure this is also just more of the gameplay experience, where people were thinking about a long time ago 1,000-player Skyrim battles, right?
Or just 10 dudes in their transport driving across the open thing looking for people to fight, and without being like, you must go to this capture point now and do this thing because you have a time limit.
No, and you will be able to. So, will you, as in us, the devs, asks EBT High Marshal Mordred. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've read it already.
Be hiring more game designers and/or implementing the Steam Workshop. Having more people work on aesthetic looks such as weapon skins, armor pieces, vehicle skins, and second founding or equivalents will bring more people back because they will be wanting a new weapon skin or getting a second founding skin. This will also allow more work to be done on maps, game modes, balancing, etc. So, you actually answered this part way. So no, we're not going to be hiring more game designers.
I'm all they need.
Because if you're thinking about the Steam Workshop, we would be hiring more art integrators or technical artists, whichever you want to call them. because you were mentioning the Steam Workshop and crowdsourcing. So the bottleneck is absolutely taking the stuff and getting it into the game, and that process isn't going to change because it doesn't matter whether somebody here creates a 3D model or you do it and skin it and so forth. Even if we gave you as many of our tools as we can, and you even own Maya and all that stuff yourself, we still have that integration process, which is not plug and play. The games that offer like real Steam Workshop stuff, they put a lot of work into making that entire ecosystem really easy to use, and you're playing Total War Warhammer and I want this and this and this, and it just plugs in and I'm fine, right? Back in the day with Civilization, I had to paste goddamn files between, right? So yes, we want to use it, and even just from the perspective of, we think it would be nice to do it from a perspective of people participating in where we're going and everything like that. And if we end up with a lot of submissions and 10 of them are awesomely cool, which also Games Workshop will also approve, we could take those in, because we are taking in stuff and iterating, but a Steam Workshop won't create a situation where you suddenly just have 10,000 things in the game. That's what I'm saying.
Cool story, bro. So should we sign off after our hour and almost a half?
We're supposed to be...
we went 3 times as long as we said we would.
We did.
Aren't we supposed to be drinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's say goodbye and start our weekend.
Bye.
Yes, and sorry to DJ Penguin, because he was gracious enough to be today's hosted, and he's going to be there, of course, now.
He's there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he's of course going to be there, and
tune in next week for Flaming Guy.
Flaming Guy.
You get to see the campaign reward. You get to see what new
the weapons
items.
Wall.
Yeah. Oh, the weapons wall. Oh, okay, that's extra work for me.
Yep.
If you give me the picture, I can black out the stuff in Photoshop.
Okay. Yeah. I heard you were a graphic designer one time or another.
I made a website and quite a few actually. Some logos and shit. If one of you are graphical artists, I can make you cringe, because I used Kai's power tools back and forth. Patch when? The next patch is in the making, and you can try it out on UAT. Please do, because there's new stuff there, including melee fixes, vehicle, and everything like that. DJ will take over our gifting. That we were going to do like massive giveaways, and we've already done the relic packs.
3 relic packs in a show is still pretty good, though.
Yes, that's pretty good. So he will be giving out Imperium packs, and who knows, maybe packs of RTC and stuff like that, something new.
Texas, the answer is yes. You send pizza to B headquarters.
Yes,
but maybe not today.
No, not today.
I don't think we'll be here.
We won't be here by the time it gets here. No, next week. And also, if it's like towards the end of this month, we might not be in the same spot either.
Oh, yes.
Right, yes.
So,
I guess we should say it now.
Yes, everybody knows.
Yep.
So wait, next weekend we'll be here.
Yeah.
It's the weekend after that we're moving to a new house.
Yes.
A big, great new.
So the 19th show. On the 19th.
We can show some pictures of that actually.
Yeah, I always wanted us to do like a thing where the cameraman follows Katie around and she has a thing and she, but Katie said no, so we're not going to do that.
So we won't be there.
Yeah.
We will continue with the format of 30 minutes and then host either one of the events or one of our streamers, because number one, they are far better at showing the game than we are, and number two, we want to support them as much as we can.
Yes.
If
so it's likely the 19th that we aren't streaming.
If we are actually full of stuff to show at some point in time, of course we will simply extend the show, and we'll be hosting somebody else afterwards. But hey, thank you for coming. Have a great weekend. 6 pages of questions. Some of them were actually repeated, but
Yeah.
most of them were
chat.
Yeah, we made it.
new, and the chat questions also. You were
Every
thank
question.
you. You were great.
Thanks. See you next
Okay.
week.
Except the camera people.
Oh.
Bye.
We can't just
Bye.
switch the camera.
Oh, give him a break. Bye.
Bjorn is great.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, not the camera. Man.
Bye.
Goodbye.